Welcome back to Buckeye Football Weekly as we head towards second half highlights. Coach, we talk about the first half and scenarios that didn't lead to points. 14-play drive for 7 minutes off of the clock, and it ends in a punt. Certainly one of those things that you want to keep possession, end in a kick, like you always say, but end it with an extra point in these, and you're going to try to do that in the second half here, mixed in with some sudden change defense and all the other things that go with Penn State coming at you.
That's right, and unfortunately that first drive of the second half, we get the ball. Yeah. And we ended up throwing an interception. Again, our defense raised up, and I think after that one is when we really got under track a little bit on the offensive side.
I noticed something that Penn State did against your defense right from the very first series, a no-huddle offense. Trying to keep people on the heels, is that the best way to attack your defense? Texas did it, Cincinnati did it a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do so we don't substitute as much because we bring a lot of people into the game, and maybe we can't get our nickel package in and those kinds of things. But anything to put pressure on one another, coaches are going to do.
Well, what we're going to do here is something that was quite inspirational at halftime, and it's talking about Tyson Gentry and Adam Talaferro. You see standing there on the right, a great connection between this group.
Really something. And Rosemary Rossetti spoke to our team the year before, and Tyson Gentry had written a letter, and it was hanging in Dodd Hall, and there were some of the doctors there. And good to raise the awareness that there are spinal cord injuries, and that's real, and that run right there by Antonio Pittman was real.
No question about it. He rips off a second-half run of 19 yards. And you talk about those positive plays on offense of 16 or more, and you get a couple of them on this drive. 12 yards complete to Anthony Gonzalez on a key 2nd and 10 play.
Well, anytime that Troy can keep it alive, our guys do a good job of finding openings, and here he finds Brian Hartline on an out route, and Brian worked hard to get up there near the first down, and we're moving the football with a little more consistency this particular drive.
Yeah, you do have a little bit more tempo and rhythm going here, and Troy, just a nice play with the pressure coming, drops it off for Pittman on the screen.
Yeah, that was a good-looking screen play, and the execution was good again, and we're moving the football down the field, and just good patience by Antonio Pittman there. And I was nervous when they reviewed this play, but everyone kept telling me from upstairs, "Oh, no, Coach, he was in," so I was happy about that. It was good to get that drive.
Yeah, as it turns out, you take a 7-3 lead and an answer and a response in the first lead of the game for you.
Yeah, that was big, and you knew our defense was going to keep playing, and here they are stopping a 4th down or a 3rd down and 1. They're trying to go to their fullback, and our guys are physical, and it's tough to gain yards with a fullback. There's a lot of hats in the box there.
Well, clobbered for no gain right there, and they sent their big guy up the middle, Brandon Snow, and then the defense just continues to swarm here. Morelli sacked for a loss of 5.
Joel Penton, Jay Richardson, 2 outstanding seniors. Here we are with a little bit of play action, and our guys come up with a heck of a play there. It was Brandon Mitchell on the breakup, and we're playing good defense.
Yeah, Brandon Mitchell came to play at the start of this Big Ten. The 5th-year senior. He's been through a couple of these Big Ten frays.
He really has, and he understands them. And here you see Troy. This was a heck of a catch on a conversion down by Stan White, and we ended up going down, I think, right after this and scoring on this drive, and that was an important first down.
Well, as you say it here, we got it for you. Troy Smith breaks contain and then just finds an open man, creating and just continuing the play, making some time.
Well, again, when Troy keeps it alive, our guys keep working, and Brian Robisky did a great job of getting in the end zone, and obviously that was huge.
Yeah, 14-3 score at that point. The Sea of Scarlet is coming to life here, and the defense, as Tony Hunt comes to life here, gets gouged a little bit.
Well, our defense is tough, and Tony Hunt is tough as well, and Penn State's not going to quit. That's just not the way they do things, and here we are holding their fullback again. When they don't have a lead back, we've got more helmets than they do in there, and so we forced them to kick the field goal, and that was big because now it's instead of being a 4-point game, it's a 8-point game, and that's big.
Well, the crowd got back into it there as well. A little false start penalty knocked them back off, but you haven't given up any rushing touchdowns, and that forces them to pass the ball more, obviously, and Malcolm Jenkins is right there.
Well, Malcolm did a great job there and turning this thing into a touchdown, and it was awful close to him not crossing that end zone with the ball, but Malcolm's an outstanding player, and here Antonio Smith gets his little bit of sunshine there and picks off the slant route, and what a wonderful thing for a 5th-year senior, walk-on academic scholar coming to Ohio State. Special moment.
Yeah, returns of 61 yards and 55 yards. So exclamation points there at the end as we see Joe Paterno and yourself shaking hands after this one, a 28-6 win for Ohio State. The exclamation point coming from the defense there. Guys jumping routes and taking it back. 7 of the last 9 games against Penn State have featured Ohio State defensive touchdowns.
Well, let's keep that going. Well, I'll have to remember that for next year's discussions. But, Penn State's a good football team. We'd like to become a good football team as well, and we're going to have to really get to work because the Iowa Hawkeyes, I believe, are undefeated, and we're going to their place. And a lot of our guys talked about how brutal our September schedule is. Well, it probably gets at its hardest moment on the last day of September up in Iowa City.
Some hard times answered also for your Ohio State defense. Down on that goal line situation like we talked about. I mean, that's Big Ten football. As you mentioned in your post-game press conference, getting a yard when you need it, stopping them from getting a yard.
Now, that's what football is all about. When you play in a bruising conference like the Big Ten, you better be good in the trenches, and I'm proud of the way that both sets of guys, offensively and defensively, played in the trenches, and we've just got to get better. We need to improve to get ready for the Hawkeyes.
And another couple of guys you mentioned, Jay Richardson, Joel Penton, our Buckeye profiles this week.